Hi everybody, it's Ria, and it's story time on Looking Glass Lane. Today I am going to be reading The Not So Big Life by Sarah Suzanka. Well, not the whole thing, just, some key parts. I read this book about 2 years ago, and it really inspired me to look at my life and examine the way I was living and the choices that I was making. And I pulled it off the bookshelf a couple days ago because I wrote a blog post on my mommy manual called How to Change Your Life. And this book was really a big part of and an inspiration for a lot of the big changes that I made. Just a little bit of background. This author wrote a series of books called The Not So Big House, and she's an architect by trade. But this particular book, which is a nonfiction, she talks about her whole life redesign, which was what actually allowed her to write that other series of books, which is an incredibly popular series. So I love that she comes at it from this architect's perspective. One of the things she talks about, one of the principles, is composition. So I'm going to start there. Something that is well composed has a sense of integrity to it, both inside and out. No matter which way you look at a house that is gracefully composed, it appears balanced and has its own unique sense of beauty and harmony. Architects use the word composed to describe the interrelationships among forms, whether at the big picture level or at the detailed level. With many new homes today, although the facade has usually been composed somewhat, it is a fairly balanced and appealing face to the street. As soon as you move a few feet in either direction along the sidewalk, you discover that the sides could very easily belong to a different house. They haven't been composed in any way, and in fact often look like an accidental assemblage of parts that have simply been thrown together. It makes the house seem insubstantial and inauthentic, as though it's trying to be something that it's not. In our lives, the same can be true. How many people do you know who have faces that they show to the world, while just beneath the surface they're feeling empty and frightened and not doing any of the things they yearn to be doing? A life that's well composed is one in which there is authenticity all the way through, a life in which the outer appearance and the inner substance match up. It is one in which you are living your passions and finding ways to express the beauty that you are. It is through this process of using your life experiences to continually explore your inner nature that delightful and vibrant composition come into being. So, she goes on to talk about developing a blueprint for a new way of living. Because we tend to compartmentalize our lives, to see our working world as one thing, our home life as another, and our desire for connection with our inner nature as yet another, we don't really live in the way we know should be possible. This compartmentalizing is similar to the way we separate room from room with walls. A house that's full of separate rooms that are connected to one another only by narrow doorways can feel claustrophobic, no matter how large the overall square footage. Excuse my dog. He's hacking. What gives a sense of space is the extent of the connecting views between rooms. You can see of an adjacent room by opening up a wall with an archway or an interior window. The more spacious you'll feel the house to be. In our lives, we need to make the same kinds of connections between realms, removing the barriers to flow so that we can feel as alive and whole at work as we do when we are engaged in doing the things we love. That's my other dog. What is needed is an integration of what we long for and what we work for. We don't have to sacrifice one for the other. Both can coexist in deeply satisfying harmony if we learn to understand ourselves better from the inside out. So here I am, living the life that I've designed, working from my home, and being able to spend all day with my puppies. And I hope that that inspires you to maybe look at your life and make changes and make space for the things that are important to you. Have a great Thursday. Love ya.